Vikings fans know that next season will be marked by many expectations and some important questions. The biggest one, of course, revolves around JJ McCarthy. Is he ready to take over as the starting quarterback in his first year? The knee injury that kept him out last season still creates some uncertainty, but the potential is there. The team bet big on him, and now it's time to see what happens. Aside from this big question, the roster seems to be practically assembled. However, there is still room for specific adjustments, especially on the defensive side. The secondary, for example, lost 2 veteran cornerbacks, and although names like Stephon Gilmore and Shaquille Griffin are still available, the ideal would be a more impactful addition. And that's where a very intriguing possibility comes into play: Jaire Alexander. According to CBS Sports journalist Cody Benjamin, the Vikings could become an interesting destination for an old acquaintance of the division. That's right. Green Bay Packers cornerback Jaire Alexander's days in Wisconsin may be numbered. The relationship between the player and the franchise has soured in recent times, and although there are discussions for a new deal, everything indicates that the athlete's departure is only a matter of time. If he doesn't accept a salary restructuring, the Packers could save around $17 million by trading him or releasing him after June 1st. And here's an important detail. If this really happens, Minnesota could become a natural landing spot for the player. In addition to Alexander's talent, who has been among the best cornerbacks in the league for years, he would certainly have extra motivation to play in the purple jersey. Imagine the desire to face his former team twice a season and prove his worth. The technical fit would already be a good reason, but the emotional factor also weighs heavily. It's worth remembering that Jaire Alexander also has a history of injuries and some personality issues, which could leave some franchises wary. But for the Vikings, who are in a defensive transition with Brian Flores shaping an aggressive and versatile unit, the arrival of a player of his caliber could be a huge difference. An all-pro with a nose for big plays, leadership skills, and experience in decisive games. Of course, it's still too early to make any definitive moves. The Packers can still try to get around the situation, but with each passing day, the separation scenario seems more likely. And if that happens via trade, Alexander would not have total control over his destiny, but if he is released, the decision is in his hands. And it wouldn't be bad for him to choose a divisional rival, staying in the NFC North, and having the chance to prove his worth against the team that discarded him. So here's the question for you, Vikings fan. Would you like to see Jaire Alexander wearing our jersey? Do you think he would be a good addition to this group that is under construction? Comment below, we want to hear your opinion. And if you're enjoying this type of content, like the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Here we cover everything about the Vikings, with quality information, and always seeking to bring behind-the-scenes information that really matters to the fans. We'll be following this situation closely, because it could shake up the division's behind-the-scenes action in the coming weeks. Skol, Vikings, and stay tuned here on the channel for more news, analysis, and exclusive behind-the-scenes information. The perfect quarterback for the Vikings in 2025 could be Carson Wentz. Hey, purple and gold fans. Today we're going to talk about a player that could be crucial to our beloved JJ McCarthy's success in 2025, the backup quarterback. Yes, my friends, he's more important than he seems, and the ideal name could be someone that many people have already ruled out, but who has everything to succeed here in Minnesota: Carson Wentz. Before we continue, give the channel a thumbs up if you love the Vikings and want to stay up to date on everything about the roster, draft, free agency, and behind the scenes. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. This will really help us to continue bringing you quality content. Why could Carson Wentz be the right name? I know. Just hearing Carson Wentz makes many fans turn up their noses. But let's be careful. His situation today is very different from when he was with the Eagles. At 32 years old, he has already played for 5 franchises, and even though he is no longer an elite starting QB, he remains an experienced, intelligent guy who knows the NFL well. And do you know what makes all this make sense here at the Vikings? The direct connection he has with our quarterbacks coach, Josh McCown. The two worked together in Philadelphia, and McCown is a big fan of Wentz'S work. In fact, when asked about Carson, here's what he had to say. He's a guy with high character, very intelligent, and knows how to improvise even when he's not on the ground. In 2019, he threw for 4,000 yards without having a receiver with more than 500 yards. That's absurd. In other words, McCown trusts Wentz a lot. And if our quarterback's coach trusts him, we should at least consider him, right? But why hasn't he been hired yet? Now comes the more technical part. If the Vikings sign a veteran like Wentz before the NFL draft, they could end up losing one of their 2026 compensatory picks. And that, my friend, is something our front office wants to avoid at all costs. This is how the NFL rule works. If you lose more skilled players than you sign in the offseason, you get extra picks in the following draft. But if you bring in a veteran now for around $4 million, that may not add up. So Minnesota is playing for time. Starting April 29th at 3:00 p.m. US Central Time, they can sign whoever they want without affecting their compensatory picks. Stay tuned, because that date could be the day Wentz shows up in purple. And what about the other options? Of course, Carson Wentz isn't the only name on the list. The NFL behind-the-scenes crowd is talking a lot about other options. Drew Lock has a strong arm, has started several games and could try to revive his career, like Sam Darnold is trying to do now. Trey Lance, still very raw. He may even have more potential than Ripien, but he's not the kind of veteran JJ McCarthy needs as a mentor right now. Joe Flacco, Super Bowl MVP, and has a reputation. He played very well for the Browns in 2023 and would be a safe choice. Teddy Bridgewater, an old favorite among fans. He was drafted by the Vikings in 2014, but it's been 8 seasons since his last stint here. It would be a nostalgic return. Case Keenum, another name that makes the heart beat faster. Hero of the Minneapolis Miracle, but today he doesn't deliver the same income. And then there are the likes of Desmond Ridder, CJ Beathard, and Jeff Driscoll, but none of them have the combination of experience, cost, and relationship with the team that Carson Wentz has. Conclusion. The missing piece could be Wentz's Vikings fans, let's be honest. JJ McCarthy has everything to be the future of this franchise, but he's still a rookie, and having a veteran by his side could greatly accelerate his development. And if the worst happens and McCarthy gets injured or has a slower learning curve, we need a reliable backup. Wentz has been in pressure situations, led teams to the playoffs, and has the trust of our quarterback's coach. He could be the perfect bridge between the present and the future of the team's most important position. Now tell me, would you like to see Carson Wentz wearing purple in 2025? Leave your opinion here in the comments. And don't forget, if you enjoyed the content, leave a like on the video, share it with other fans, and subscribe to the channel to continue following everything about the Vikings with us. The future is promising, and we will experience every step of this journey together. Skol, fans!